The audio commentary. It's a dying art form, but here at One Track Mind, I, your wonky yet affable host Ryan Luis Rodriguez, analyze film through the prism of these embryonic forms of podcasting, one audio commentary at a time. Masterpieces, crapster pieces, live action, animation, cult classics, films literally no one has ever heard of. No track is too small, and no track is too big. Join me and my guests from the entertainment world as we keep these features alive every other Tuesday. Hey, who else is going to discuss Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey one week and Citizen Kane the next? Us, that's who. Sure, you have to put up with my voice, but there's a certain give and take in this industry. That's One Track Mind, part of the Someone's Favorite Productions family, and available wherever you get your podcasts.
Have you ever wanted to dive deeper into the horror movies you love? Beyond the Blood is a horror podcast for fans who want more than just surface-level screams. We do deep dives into the movies that shaped us, digging into director commentaries, behind-the-scenes stories, deleted scenes, and the special features that most people skip. Each episode is a love letter to the genre. We break down how these films were made, the creative risks that paid off or didn't, and the lasting impact they've had on the genre as a whole. From 70s slashers to modern nightmares, we celebrate the craft, chaos, and characters that keep us coming back. If you're the kind of fan who rewatches movies with the commentary on, or you simply grew up in the video store horror aisle, the Beyond the Blood podcast was made for you. New episodes every single week. Subscribe, and let's dig deep. Welcome to the Beyond the Blood podcast.
Hi there, I'm Chris Stachiw.
And I am Trevor Gumbel.
And we're the hosts of On Seagal, a podcast about Seagal, about Steven Seagal, the man, the myth, the ponytail-wearing man who is as stoic as they come. And boy, we're going to be talking about a lot of Steven Seagal coming in this movie, because we're talking about 1990's second Steven Seagal vehicle. We're talking about the movie where Steven Seagal is opposite his actual real-life wife. We're talking about 1990's Hard to Kill.
Steven Seagal is Mason Storm, a cop working undercover until his cover was blown.
Whoever that is, I don't want him to get an hour older.
Thought they'd seen the last of him. But Mason Storm is hard to kill.
Mason!
Now,
he's toast, you understand?
the climate is right
We'll get him, buddy.
for revenge.
Every one of them. Think you better dial 911.
Mason Storm is about to hit back.
That wasn't the time. Now's the time. We are going to put an end to violence, and you can take that to the bank.
Steven Seagal is hard to kill.
Take that to the bank.
So the film is directed by Bruce Malmuth. It is written by Stephen McKay. It stars Steven Seagal, Kelly LeBrock, one of my favorite character actors, Mr. William Sadler, and Frederick Coffin, another fantastic character actor. And Steven Seagal plays Mason Storm, a good cop caught in a bad situation. He figures out that a local politician is up to no good, and because of it, his entire family and he gets almost murdered, his wife gets completely murdered, and his son escapes. Steven Seagal then goes into a coma for 7 years, wakes up in 1990, and goes on a killing rampage to take out the men who have wronged him. So pretty stock and trade Steven Seagal stuff.
Yeah, pretty basic, pretty
Almost
pretty cut and dry.
too basic.
Yeah, I mean, this was pretty much 90s Seagal, basic as basic comes. It's the usual Steven Seagal vengeance flick. There's really nothing too special about it. There are moments that are really good, but really it's nothing kind of, other than the meme it became, nothing really about the film stands out from the other films in his catalog.
No, because somehow they managed to waste Bill Sadler, which is like the biggest crime of this movie is the wasting of a genuinely talented character actor in William Sadler. Because I've gone on record saying it before, not only on this podcast, I'll say it on any podcast regarding William Sadler. He is one of my favorite actors working in Hollywood. He is he plays the president in the Marvel movies. He plays my favorite character in Tales from the Crypt. He also plays Death in Bill and Ted, which I would say is probably my favorite role that he's ever done. But in this movie, nope.
Bill Sadler can be intimidating as fuck. I mean, look no further than Die Hard 2. He was a great fucking villain in that movie. And a formidable opponent.
And came out the same year as this movie.
Exactly. So they should have known that Bill Sadler can do this kind of stuff. But no, they make him one of these guys who just has a bunch of cronies do the dirty work for him. He's like the final boss at a video game battle.
But that video game battle consists completely of QuickTime events.
Yeah, and
because again, as we've seen already in so many of these Seagal films, Steven Seagal does not let Bill Sadler get in any sort of offense on Seagal. Seagal essentially beats his ass almost immediately. He tries to shoot him with a shotgun, comes out of the closet, and then Seagal jams the shotgun in his mouth and, says, "I'm going to fucking kill you." And then he doesn't end up killing him.
Well, if anything, the main bad guy of the film was the lead henchman. What was the actor's name? Do you know?
Are you talking about Quintero?
I think so, yeah, Quintero.
Branscombe Richmond.
Yeah, he's the one who said, "Fuck you and die."
Yeah. He's great. I mean, the thing about this film is the actors who play the cronies are really good actors. I mean, you have Dean Norris in here. Dean Norris would go on to be in
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, and you've got Branscombe Richmond, who is, a very well-known character actor and also a very well-known stuntman as well. And yet, he is one of the better parts of this movie, but that wasn't intentional. He wasn't intended to be. He's intended to just be, one of the body count that Steven Seagal will, undoubtedly rack up towards the end of the film.
But I do like that he lasted longer than the other henchmen did. They made him more of a formidable opponent for Seagal. But on the other hand, he's not the main villain. William Sadler is, and they kind of just fucked up with that whole thing. I mean, maybe they didn't think William Sadler looked intimidating enough to go against Seagal.
But yet he's in fucking Die Hard the same year.
Yeah, with Bruce Willis.
Yeah, well, and look, Bruce Willis is not a Aikido master like Seagal is, granted, but also, again, whether or not Seagal is an Aikido master in real life, in my opinion, doesn't matter for the characters that he's playing in movies.
Yeah.
And it's not a requirement that because Seagal is in your film, he needs to be doing the Aikido thing, because in this film, there's very little Aikido.
It's mostly gunplay. It is a lot of gunplay.
A lot of it.
And we've seen William Sadler do that. He doesn't have to do Aikido to go against Seagal. In a way, his character's kind of a pussy. I mean,
comparatively to the characters he will go on to play, yeah.
Well, comparatively to the henchmen, Well,
I know, but I'm talking about, we will see in later Seagal movies, he will not use guns.
Exactly.
And in this movie, he's strapped constantly, shooting people with, complete wanton abandon.
I'm talking about Will Sadler's character. Bill Sadler's character.
Oh,
was kind of
gotcha.
Because all he does is sit in his hot tub and tell the henchmen to do what he says, not doing anything for himself. Well, that's pretty much any politician, though. So I guess he maybe did a good job.
Yeah. I don't think the character he was playing wasn't on point. It's just that character, in my opinion, is not particularly interesting.
Exactly. They don't really, like I said, they don't really do much with him. I mean, in the first scene, you see him with a hat on in the shadow, hiring these goons to take out his opponent so he can win. Was it the senator race or the governor race? One of the two.
Can I mention how in the Holy Hell, Seagal didn't realize that was William Sadler?
Well, come on, his voice is unmistakable, and
and Seagal knows William Sadler's character.
Exactly. And so Seagal's like, what the fuck? That voice sounds so familiar.
It's like, dude, you literally know this guy.
It took you 7
Hello, this is Chris Haskell from They Live by Film. For those that don't know us, Adam, Zach, and I, we built a podcast over the last 2 years that's a combination of film discussion from 3 very different perspectives, as well as industry interviews with the leaders in boutique Blu-ray and 4K community. We started with Deaf Crocodile, but over time we've been lucky enough to speak with Arrow Video, Severin, Mondo Macabro, Vinegar Syndrome, Radiance, Indicator, most of the OCN partner labels. It's been a blast. You can find us wherever you podcast, and also actually recently as part of someone's favorite production podcast network. We hope to see you online.
fucking years to realize that.
Not just 7 years, it took him 7 years and then a couple months after the fact.
Yeah.
But to be fair, we do get the funniest line from the movie.
Oh yeah, when he finally figures
because
out
of it
that the senator was the one who was hired to kill, and he's the one who sent the goons to take him out.
And William Sadler's character has a line, like a catchphrase that he keeps repeating because he's a politician.
Yeah. He goes,
and his catchline is, "You can take that to the bank." And so what does Seagal say?
Dun, dun,
It's such a cornball line, but the fact that "I'm going to take you to the bank, the blood bank," has become like what this movie is known for.
Yeah, but I think,
it's pretty funny.
I think what puts the nail in that is the dun 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 dun.
Yeah, I mean, it's overly dramatic, macho wacho bullshit, which, I mean, again, these Seagal movies, they traffic in that, which is perfectly fine, but for me, it is disappointing that for all we get to see Seagal doing things in these other films that we've talked about so far, even a film like the one we just watched, it's whose name actually escapes me somehow, which is shocking in and of itself. He's just not given a whole lot to do.
He basically...
Is it that the first half of the movie is just too long?
Maybe.
Right? Like, it really feels like it's a 96-minute movie, but the actual part of the movie that takes place in the quote-unquote present is only like 45 minutes. I
think. The movie doesn't really get going until they introduce Kelly LeBrock's character as a nurse. And
can we talk about that nurse character?
Yeah, she's creepy.
Yeah, looking at your patient's cock.
He's comatose.
Yeah, is not. That is not.
And then she says something like, "Oh, please wake up soon." I'm like, Jesus,
yeah,
baby.
like, I hope you wake up. Please wake up. Like, so you're like hardcore thirsting for Seagal's big girthy penis. Okay, we get
Something
it.
tells me that was Seagal's idea.
Or her idea, or both of their idea. I mean, again, they were married at the time, so.
And she has a coworker played by Francesca Roberts, who many know, at least me, as Big Bertha from Super Mario Brothers. And she doesn't really do much in the film as the friend of Kelly LeBrock's character, does she?
She just gets murdered off screen.
That's all her character really does is like get murdered off screen and have a reason for Kelly LeBrock to, I don't know. Kelly LeBrock's performance is uneven. When she sees the dead bodies of the physical therapist guy and was it the security guard?
Yeah.
She acts like, not that it's not a big deal, but she acts like it's, oh my God, I spilled something on the carpet. But then when she finds that her friend is dead, then she starts to show emotion like someone actually died. So, I mean, pick a lane and stick with it.
Yeah, I've only really ever seen Kelly LeBrock in one other thing, that thing being Weird Science. So I can't comment on her acting abilities as some sort of expert because, again, I've only seen her in 2 things. And to be fair, most people haven't seen her in very much because she really is kind of really known for 1 or 2 things.
Weird Science and
And this.
Red.
Yeah, and this, I guess. I mean, you
Yeah.
could make the case that she's known for this.
And Seagal, being Seagal's wife, I guess is the only reason. Yeah, so she's kind of, she does some things in the film.
But she's kind of just there.
Yeah, I mean, she's there to protect his son when they find him finally, and she's the one who like takes him to a safe place while Seagal does his dirty work business and whatever. Doesn't she have a copy of the tape? Didn't he give her one of the copies of the tape?
I think so, yeah.
Because he had a videotape and an audio tape of the meeting back in, what was it, 83?
Mind you, the videotape is completely useless because it's shot in the dark and you can't see anyone's faces.
Yeah, he's a pretty shitty stakeout artist if you think about it. He doesn't hide very well either. He's very easy to spot if you just look a little bit to your left. And what I found funny about the first part of the movie is they keep mentioning it's Oscar night. It's Oscar night. Like, okay, why? What's the point?
I didn't understand that either because they make a real point of doing that, like over and over and over.
It's like, hey, come on, guys, I'm going to miss the Oscars.
Like nobody says that.
No, not even Steven Seagal. Because, buddy, you'll never be invited.
Well, also that and the fact that nobody really gets that excited about the Oscars. Like,
No.
what universe are people that excited about the Oscars?
I don't think even Ben Kingsley was excited about the Oscars, and he won for Gandhi that year.
Oh yeah, Ben Kingsley won for Gandhi. What? Like, what? Who is excited for that?
He should have won the Oscar for Blood Rain. I mean, he missed the mark, man.
Get out of here.
Thunderbirds, that was his magnum opus.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but it's like
it's an oddly specific, very weird choice for them to go, oh yeah, by the way, it's Oscar night. Like what is it? What does it matter?
And the guy turned on it at the precinct, and I think his wife was watching it at home or something. I'm like, what? Unless
I didn't understand. There doesn't seem to be a point.
Unless your villain's name was Gandhi or something, just why bring it up?
I have no idea. It was super weird. It was super duper weird. It was super random and like oddly specific. So,
but
again, like it's the biggest sin of this movie is for it being a Seagal movie, which it is. It's a Seagal vehicle. It's a second film. It is so painfully generic,
and
that it's a disappointment.
Well, coming from Above the Law, which was a great action film and a great introduction to Seagal, for him to go from that to this, it's like you're kind of wasting what the guy can do. He's a martial arts expert. He's an intimidating figure.
Let him do the martial arts.
I mean, he kind of does when they do the montage of him rehabilitating from the coma.
Yeah, and that's kind of it.
Which is weird because they bring up, they kind of hint that he's Catholic in the beginning. Like when he's talking to his son, doing the prayer of "Now I lay me down to sleep" kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
About
the Lord's Prayer,
and how
right?
praying is, if you want something, pray for it. They bring up the Catholic, but then when he starts rehabilitating, he starts doing these very Zen Buddhist practices, like sticking.
Well, he's doing
sticking
acupuncture,
meditating, which is fine. I mean, Christians can meditate.
He's also doing moxibustion, which is that like thing where you see him like burning the
burning the sticks on him.
That's you never see that. Like,
I mean, actually, I found those scenes kind of interesting to see how he was. Just like, does this stuff actually work? And then right after that, they get to a scene out of nowhere. Kelly LeBrock comes in a really nice dress and says, "I got you a rose." Immediately goes to a sex scene. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, boy, for two people that are married, they really have no fucking chemistry. It is ridiculous how little chemistry they have.
It was like,
yeah, I agree, but I'm also saying like the chemistry between the two of them is practically non-existent.
Well, considering their characters have met like a week ago or whatever,
right? But I'm more going off the fact that these two are married in real life.
I know what you're getting at. It's like,
yeah,
if you're married, it should at least show on screen that you have something between you. But the sex scene was just okay. It's almost like, okay, now there's a sex scene in the script, and I think it was it in Seagal's contract that every woman he's in a relationship with in this movie he has to have sex with? Because first there's the sex scene with his wife, and then there's a sex scene with Kelly LeBrock. It's like, okay, Seagal had something to do with this, didn't he?
I mean, again, I genuinely think that Steven Seagal has something in his contract that allows him to do a lot of things in some of these movies, because we keep seeing the same thing showing up over and over and over and over again. And I don't think it's just like an action movie trope. I think these are things that it's like, I want this in my movie, and it's like he's got enough pull, his dick's swinging enough right now that he can say what he wants and they'll give it to him.
Yeah,
like the sex scenes.
And neither of them looked like they really enjoyed it.
Definitely not the second one, and the first one, we don't see it long enough to really, I mean, the first one is interrupted by the bad cops coming in and killing Seagal. So let's talk a little bit about the end of the film, because I think that's where the film finally starts to pick up steam and actually start doing something. I would say we have, four or five action scenes in this movie?
Yeah,
that's kind of it. It's, for as long as this movie is at 96 minutes, and for as much as this movie is billing itself as an action movie, there aren't a lot of action scenes.
Not really. A lot of chase, but not a
lot of chasing.
But not a lot of, shooting, shoot 'em up action, whatever. And definitely...
Well, and I mean... in a Seagal movie, we don't need that. I mean, obviously, Seagal later in his career will effectively transition out of using guns and only, be doing his Aikido. But it's, for a movie about action, it's really disappointing to see how little of it there really is in this movie.
Yeah, there's really not much. It basically just... It's a lot of him and Kelly LeBrock and him training and them talking about...
And then he doesn't even kill Bill Sadler at the end. And, I understand from, a character journey standpoint that, if he stoops to his level, he won't be any better than he is. Exactly. But the thing is, Above the Law does something, very similar to this movie. It has this, good cops, bad cops, but that movie does it better.
This was kind of a very sloppy resolution in the film.
Oh yeah, it's the cops are here, and
we saw the tape.
We saw the tape. We saw the tape, Mason. We saw the tape.
You can let him go. We'll take care of this.
Okay, but that's not a satisfying conclusion to a film. To a film where the main character's fucking wife gets straight point blanked in the first 20, 30 minutes of the movie. That is not a satisfying conclusion. And I know you know as well, that the film had a different ending.
Yes. There is an ending where he does kill Bill Sadler.
And I'm not one to complain about changes like that being made, because again, that's the filmmaker's choice. That's his choice to change the ending, or maybe the test audiences didn't like the original ending. But man, if you're gonna change the ending, don't make it a less ending, because this is less of an ending than if he had killed Trent.
Yeah.
It's just it's a bummer. It's really a bummer.
Yeah, but I can somewhat understand why they did it, but
I understand why they did it. I mean, it just, for me, it doesn't take away from the fact that they could have done more with the ending, and instead they had a standoff with the cops, and by the way, the cops watched the tape. Okay.
Well, really, Bill Sadler's character wasn't even really that developed enough to be a satisfying kill.
No, he was not on screen at all. He was only on screen with Seagal one time.
So if Seagal had killed him, it would have been, okay, just another bad guy he killed. But we don't really know much about Sadler's character as a politician. I would have liked to have known, oddly enough, I would have liked to know, would he have been, a corrupt politician where he would have,
Well, and Seagal has to make a choice, this guy is corrupt, but he's also doing good things.
He is corrupt, but he's doing good things. It's kind of a moral quandary. But then again, I mean, hiring people to kill your opponent, that kind of negates everything like that.
Right. I would completely agree. But even if there was in a film that I recently watched, oh my God, oh Jesus, it's a blaxploitation film. I watched it last year, Coffee. In that film, you have the Pam Grier character at the end of the film essentially doing something very similar to this film, where the main character confronts the main villain, and the main villain is a politician similar to this. And in that film, he has a very impassioned speech about, while I might be doing bad things, I am still working for the common good to get our brothers and sisters out of poverty. And the only way we'll ever be able to do it is, working together. And then obviously a white woman comes down from the second story of the house and Pam Grier fucking ices the villain. Because, obviously he's full of shit. But the point is, like, you could have given us something more to chew on in that respect. Like you said, give the Sadler character a little bit more depth, because as we've said before, and we'll say it again until the end of this podcast, the hero is only as good as his villain. Mm-hmm. And in this movie, William Sadler as Trent is a complete cipher.
Pretty much. I mean, in a movie where when the bad guy gets offed by the hero, you want the audience to cheer.
Yeah.
But the audience won't cheer unless you give the villain a reason to make them want to cheer. And Bill Sadler was just... There's only a couple scenes of, like... Basically, the whole thing about his character was, I want this guy dead. Kill this guy. Get this guy. Kill this guy. That's all the character was. And it was like, okay, but what about you? What are you doing in this? What is your... I mean, what do you want? I mean, what are you trying to do? I mean, does he have a platform he's trying to get elected on that he doesn't think he will unless his opponent was dead? What's going on here?
And that's the thing. I have no idea, because he's not given any characterization other than, and you could take that to the bank. Like that's his entire character.
Yeah,
is a catchphrase. And it really goes to show how mediocre so much of this movie is that we're not even talking about Steven Seagal, because I don't think Steven Seagal is really the problem with this movie.
No.
I actually think Steven Seagal does a good job in this movie.
I mean, he does as well,
at playing the...
Yeah, he does as well as he can.
Yeah, given with the minimally interesting material that he's given, because Mason Storm is pretty much Nico Toscani, like the same character.
You might as well.
You
could say this is above the law too, and nobody would disagree with you. Nobody would argue.
You really could. Like the character, there is nothing that sets these two characters apart.
No, not really
at all. Aside from one has a family and a kid.
Yeah.
Who again is more of a plot device and less of a character.
Yeah, they only really bring the kid in to add a little more stakes to it.
Yeah, and that's it. He's never really like revealed to be a character or has any sort of characterization. Frederick Coffin's character is just like, well, you're gonna have to get to know your dad again, and that's it.
Frederick Coffin is there to give Seagal a gun, give him some information about his son, and that's pretty much it. Kind of be the protector. I was thinking maybe they could have just done something with the son where they make the son a witness, and that's why he's hiding. But no, the son doesn't really do anything except for, hide the tape. To me, this film feels like just a lot of missed opportunities. It's a lot of missed opportunities.
You have William Sadler, but you don't really use him. You have Steven Seagal, and you don't really use him. You have Steven Seagal and Kelly LeBrock, and they have no chemistry on screen. You have Frederick Coffin, and he's pretty much just an exposition dump. Like,
it's really
bad. You have Branscombe Richmond, and he plays the second to last bad guy essentially, and that's not even really good enough.
I mean, I did like the "fuck you and die" line when he shoved that thing through his head.
Oh yeah, I mean there are some good one-liners in this movie that I really like. Like, I'll take that to the bank, the blood banker. Fuck you and die. But
here's the thing: it's really bad when Frederick Coffin's character had more development in Wayne's World than in Hard to Kill.
Yeah,
I mean, he played just a joke character in Wayne's World, but yet he has more development in that and more reason to be in the film.
I would agree.
Yeah, but I mean, Seagal, like we've said many times, he can do it. You just have to give him a script. I mean, he challenge the guy, give him something different. Don't let him play Nico Toscani Part 2.
Because that's essentially what this is.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to differentiate this between Nico Toscani and just
Mason Storm.
Mason Storm, sorry. God.
I'm saying between Mason Storm, Nico Toscani, and the character that he plays in the next film that we're talking about.
Yeah,
or not the next film, but 2 films from now.
Yeah, 2 films from now we're talking about. It's but the 2 films from now, that film is a great film. This film is just it's a speed bump to a better film.
Yeah, and the really disappointing thing about this film is it's not that it's bad. It's just that it's so not much of anything.
No, it's not a bad film. It's perfectly watchable, but it's...
And you'll have a good time for an hour and a half. You could spend an hour and a half doing a lot worse things.
Yeah, but you'll come out of it and it'll disappear from your memory the next day.
And that's the problem.
Yeah. Like, I'm struggling to remember this, and I watched it just the other night.
And I also do think, like you've mentioned before, giving the Kelly LeBrock character as little to do as they did does not do her character any service.
No, it's just... It almost felt like Seagal is showing off his wife.
Yeah, kinda. And you know what's funny? In Above the Law, there's not really a love interest.
I mean...
Like, you don't need to have a love interest in these movies for Steven Seagal. It's not a requirement.
Didn't Sharon Stone play his wife?
Yeah, but she's not in the film as much as Kelly LeBrock is in this film.
True. Yeah, she's only in...
Just like Kelly LeBrock or Sharon Stone is not in Above the Law as much as Erika Eleniak is in Under Siege.
Yeah.
Or whatchamajiggy is in Under Siege 2. I guess there's not really a love... there is a love interest in Under Siege 2. It's just not...
Talk about Catherine
Yeah, it's his own niece.
Yeah.
But like those female characters get more to do than Kelly LeBrock does, but they do more. I mean, like they don't need like Sharon Stone in Above the Law is there because he's married, and in this film, Kelly LeBrock is there because why? They never justify her existence.
They need someone to take him to a place where he can rehabilitate and get better.
Right.
But there's nothing there when it comes to chemistry between them. We don't feel like this is a connection.
Nope.
And when they have that sex scene, I'm like, this isn't earned. This is just out of nowhere.
And it's also creepy given the whole, I hope you wake up soon.
Well, considering that she was looking at his dick.
Well, that's my point. And then she ends up fucking him. So it's like...
It's almost kind of a stalker.
I mean, again, it's weird. And it's one of those things where like, it's a choice. It was in the script. But man, like, what's the point?
There isn't a point.
Yeah, well, then don't do it. I mean, if you want to show off how gorgeous Kelly LeBrock is, I get it. Kelly LeBrock is a good-looking woman. I don't think anyone's going to argue that.
Make her an extra.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but, like, give her something to do because you paid her money to be in your movie.
Yeah, but, make her work for that money. Make her earn the fucking paycheck. I mean, it's actually kind of an insult to Kelly LeBrock. I mean, it's basically putting it in a movie as eye candy, which is kind of an insult because... It's saying that you can't do more than just be a face to look at or a body to look at.
Yeah, and it is a little disheartening that that's all she's given to do is, oh, you're going to make out with your then husband. You're going to make kind of not creepy. I mean, I would say creepy, just weird comments about the size of his penis. Like it's just. Like what a waste of time. I mean, I'm sure she got paid. I'm sure she wasn't hurting. For money afterwards. I'm sure they paid her really well, but like you've got to think like, man.
Well, even in Weird Science, she was object of lust, of course, but at least her character had character. It was a very funny written character. Like she could hold her own. She wasn't just a nice body and a good looking face and someone for those two guys to lust over. She actually had something to do.
Yeah. And in this film, she's not given anything to do.
Nope, just look pretty.
Yeah. It's a shame. It's a real shame.
It is. And frankly, I just, that's why she probably hasn't done much work is because they haven't given her a chance to prove that she can do it.
So, with Hard to Kill in the rearview mirror, on the next episode of On Seagal, we're going to be taking a look at a more recent Steven Seagal film with 2019's General Commander. What a terrible name for a movie.
Yeah, are you a general or a commander? Pick one.
You're a general commander?
Yeah, I'm a general commander.
I wonder where this film was shot. Maybe in like Thailand or the Philippines or
I don't know.
Somewhere.
It was, I don't know, could have been filmed in Seagal's backyard.
I'm looking forward to it. The last film that we did, his final film that he's done so far. I mean, again, it wasn't anything amazing, but it was not nearly as bad as I was expecting it to.
Yeah, they did to Seagal in that film what they did to Kelly LeBrock in this film.
Yeah, so there you go. So my hope,
William Sadler's character.
Yeah, So I'm excited to see what General Commander brings because, again, I've heard nothing about it. I know no one who has seen it, and there is a chance that it could be good. So I'm going in with an open mind. I'm definitely excited.
I always go in with open mind with Seagal films because you know what? It could surprise you.
And and the likelihood that it will is pretty high if you go into it with no expectations.
Exactly. Because, if anyone can pull it off, it's Seagal. Because Seagal is... he can command the screen when he does it right.
So when we're not talking about Steven Seagal films, Trevor, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me once a month on the Kulturecast with yours truly, Chris Stachiw.
It's true.
You can also find me on Twitter at Case Neuromancer, but I'm changing that because it's too complicated of a name, and frankly, I don't want to deal with the hassle of it. If you have any suggestions, let me know. You can also find me on Instagram at Mad Vertigo. And you can also find me at home sleeping.
Enjoying that COVID sleep that so many of us are taking advantage of.
Wear your fucking masks, people.
Steven Seagal doesn't approve of that message. As for me, you can find me on Twitter at Christmas Claus. And you can find me on a bunch of other podcasts. Kulturecast, Chronicles from the Crypt, Scary Stories We Tell. I'm there. I'm on all of them. If that's the thing you're into, cool. If not, hey, I totally get it. You can find this podcast at onseagal.com. You can find this podcast on the internet at onseagal. Oh, excuse me. You can find this podcast on Twitter at onseagal. And you can find the RSS feed for this podcast on the internet at onseagal.com. We'll catch you on the next episode.